Hey there, Skate World. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I am Viktor Thorup. For those of you that don't know me, I am a professional ice skater, two-time Olympian, and inline skater as well. And yesterday, I came back from the biggest inline skating events of the United States or entire America, the Northshore Inline Marathon. I was fortunate enough to finish second, and I decided to make this vlog on the whole event because it was honestly some of the most fun I have ever had. Sophia, my partner, and also teammate for Team Rollerblade, we were invited to do this marathon up in Duluth. Oh boy, it was cool. There's 2,200 inline skaters participating in the race. The whole thing was just super professional. We flew in, left pretty early in the morning so we could get there a few days ahead. We were fortunate to be hosted by some incredibly nice volunteers. Went on a little boating trip the night before we went up to Duluth, where we had the expo the day before. It was very impressive, super well organized. There was lots of different booths. The Rollerblade booth was there, or there was even 4 entire booths from Team Rollerblade. So I got to hang out with the entire Rollerblade family. And that day before the race was super cool. Very grateful to get that opportunity. Literally more than 100 fans and followers that apparently seem to be enjoying these videos and following my skating journey, following Sophia's skating journey, came over for photos, for autographs, and that was a lot of fun meeting all these people and hearing their different stories, their different journeys with skating and how a lot of them could use all the stuff I do. So honestly, super cool to know that people notice and that people follow and can benefit from all the stuff that I and we share. The expo also had a demo area in the middle of it where Sophia and I demonstrated for about an hour all our favorite dryland exercises and had sort of a meet and greet and Q&A with all the people that showed up to see that and listen to that. I'm gonna be posting a separate video where you can see the exercises and also listen to why we chose those exercises and why that was what we decided to share with you guys. Already close to street, the finish line the day before the marathon. And then, I'm gonna come there.
Let's race!
So we got to do the last mile or so, I would say a handful of times, back and forth there to test it out. It's a little tricky, I would say, even though it's a simple course, very straightforward. Last mile is a little tricky if you haven't tried it before, but they did really well in allowing us to try that out the day before. So now the race day itself, just again, super well organized. I think without looking up any race info on the website, I would have been able to figure it all out just because it was well indicated and well planned. So we went to the buses, which was at the finish line. So the course itself is a straight line, very simple. There's simply just buses taking us from the finish area where we went pretty early in the morning. The elite buses would leave from 6:30, and they would then take us to the beginning of the course, where we had about an hour to warm up, to get everything ready. Had my different gels, had my HVMN ketone shots. First time doing a longer event with the ketones, and well, as you may have figured out, it went pretty well, finishing second, so can't complain about that. The crazy part was that this was the first time in 4 months that I put on my inline skates. Hadn't trained on inline skates at all, so I really didn't know what to expect. We got out there. It was honestly perfect temperature. I would say it was a little chilly before, but then when you get going, all of a sudden you're racing as hard as you can. You're not cold anymore. We had more or less neutral wind. That's one thing that you never know, especially when it's a straight line from A to B. It's not a circuit, and a good group. There's lots of elite skaters, of course, lots of recreational skaters for it to be 2,200 people, and it was a nice start. The tarmac was really smooth, much smoother than I expected. That was the one thing I was really worrying about because I haven't inline skated. Coming from the ice, obviously I train twice a day, so I was in good shape. I know how to skate well, but if there was a lot of vibrations, I wouldn't have the shins, the lower back to handle that. And at times, I do think that was my limiting factor. I was fine after the race, but the shins really started hurting halfway in. Same for the lower back, and that was really hard because I was in a breakaway for most of the time. I started the breakaway, ended up having the best US skater there, and Hamilton from the junk team with me, also ex-world champion and winner of the Geisinger race. So I knew it was a good group, and I just tried to motivate those guys to work for it, and we got good rhythm going, and that worked really well. We had a good pace. There's a few times where we stopped up, looked at each other, and came to realize that the course record was then out of reach after that. But it was still super nice, and that's the way I like racing, when everybody takes their lead and working well together, making a fast and good race. All right, we just finished the race. The race report here. Sophia also made it to the finish line. The course was way above our expectations. We thought it'd be more rough. The surface was super neat. It was smooth enough that my shins, with no skating for 4 months, they made it through to the finish. I finished second place. Pretty happy about that. And we got close to the course record. I think we were on pace for the first 20-25 minutes. And we had a moment where we just stopped and looked at each other. I went for a breakaway, ended up with Hamilton from the young team, world champion, and we had an American skater from the U.S. national team that finished 9th at World Championships just a week ago, basically. So I knew that was a good breakaway, and we kept it together until, say, 4 miles from the finish, where Hamilton broke off, and then we were just the two of us trying to chase him down. And with very little to go, less than a mile to go, I attacked there, and I made it to the finish in second place in, I think, an hour 1. So pretty happy about that. I think it's a marathon PB for me. Sofa over there skated her first marathon and somehow finished what I think was 5th place. That's pretty crazy. So proud of her. And yeah, just a cool vibe out here. At the expo, one thing that I didn't mention before the race, that they carry our stuff in like a little cool bag to the finish line. So honestly, couldn't be better organization here. It was a really awesome finish. I'm gonna share some videos of that, but the amount of people that were cheering at the end, yeah. I forgot how bad my back was hurting, how bad my shins were hurting. I forgot about my 180 heart rate, and just gave it what I had at the end. So excited to finish second place here at the Northshore. Excited to have Sophia there in 5th place, and to represent Rollerblade. It was fun. It was a really cool group. I was surprised all the people I spoke to here after the finish, were every one of them just said how cool it was, that because it's such a big marathon, there's so many skaters of different levels, so the chances of finding a good group, unless you're dumb enough to go on a breakaway like me, they're really big. So that's a lot of fun. And yeah, now we're just hanging here, photos with fans and autographs, and then getting ready for the podium ceremony a bit later. And just super cool place. Thanks Northshore. Thanks Rollerblade. Happy to finish second. Got prize money, and that was a nice little bonus. Even though honestly the trip was worth it before that, anyways. So that was cool. At the finish line, it was super nice. There was lots of snacks of all kinds. There was water right as you got there. You got a cool participant medal, and that was a nice little bonus on top of the participant package, with a cool T-shirt and a ticket for the Oktoberfest after party. A wonderful trip. Sophia, my wife, had her first marathon ever and finished in 1:16, 6th place amongst the elites. She's just a crazy talent, but also a hard worker. So I was really proud and happy for her as well. Fun meeting so many happy skaters. I sometimes tend to forget when we really just train every day, skate around our own little world, focusing on a goal. And the same with the YouTube here. I mostly just talk into a camera, but coming out there and seeing that it makes a difference to people, and yeah, enjoying the fun parts of skating, not that training isn't fun. That was really nice. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the comments and the feedback I get from you guys. And yeah, skating is a wonderful sport. So I cannot wait to be back at the Northshore Marathon. And now it's back to real training. Northshore Inline Marathon was a blast. And I would say especially for two reasons why I would go there. If it wasn't for, I love skating, it would be to set a PB, because the course is smooth and there's not a lot of turns. And the other reason, if you're new to marathons, this would be the ideal first-time marathon, really. Again, the visibility is great. The roads are sort of predictable when you can see them. There's nothing sketchy about it. And if you do that last mile beforehand, it's a super safe course. I don't think I remember any marathons where I've seen less crashes. And it's pretty incredible despite the number of people there. So the people that showed up there, hope to see all of you again next year, and hopefully a little more. I'm Viktor Thorup. If you want to know how to get better at skating, check out my channel. If you want a specific marathon training plan, if you're looking to prepare well for next year, I make one. It's a 3-month training plan, but there is, as you will see, there's options to extend that to last for an entire season. It's $50, and then you'll have it forever. So I put a lot of effort into it, and I believe it's pretty good. But that's for you to test. You can preview it for free, and then you can see if it's something that would work for you. On a final note, if this inspired you to participate in the Northshore Marathon next year, 2024, I'm going to put a discount code below here that the organization gave me in order to promote the thing, because I think it's awesome, and obviously we want more people to join. So click on that link and you can save some money when you sign up. Thanks a lot for following my journey, and thanks a lot for watching this video. I'll see you soon.